Zee Pruk said this heart pose requires 2 ppl to complete, but that person isn't here today. The host asked WHT plans do UHV for the next 10 years. Zee Pruk said later in life, I want to HV a farmland and a garden in the north region, raise cows and other animals, raise chickens, grow vegetables and fruits. Either eat them yourself or sell some of them. Fans said on Twitter, there's buzz about what San and Naan end up as together. Zee Pruk said if you've finished watching, you'll know. Is it a caring love or what? Fans said and more than that. Zee Pruk said will there be season 2? Let's wait and see. Fans said okay. Zee Pruk said or maybe become a zombie too. Fans asked Zee Pruk do San and Naan like each other in the Zombiver. Zee Pruk said they are brothers. Fans said really? Question how much do you accept these 5 outfits? Rate from 1 to 5, 1 equals accept the least, 5 equals accept the most. Zee Pruk choose 5 for all. Question what did NuNew give you for your birthday? A. Wristwatch. B. Ring. C. Necklace. D. Other. Zee Pruk replied not telling. Question in reality, if NuNew were bitten by a zombie, what would Zee Pruk do? A. Hug NuNew tightly and tell him that you will never abandon him, you'll try to find medicine to cure him. Even if he becomes a zombie, you'll still do your best to protect him. B. With tears in your eyes, you pick up your weapon and say, I'll help set you free and I'll keep living with your memory. You choose to end his suffering, but you'll carry the ache of missing him forever. C. Quietly lean against his shoulder and say, then let's go together. No one should be left alone. You choose to die with him in your final moments, you hold each other, becoming each other's last comfort. Zee Pruk choose all the 3 option. NuNew said actually, I used to really enjoy cooking. I was kind of like a home chef's assistant and that chef was my mom. I usually liked helping her cook, cutting vegetables and mincing meat. The host asked you minced meat too? NuNew said yes. Back then, when it came to things like mincing pork, chopping chicken or deboning it, that was thanks to my dad. I did a bit of mincing too, I'd get asked to help with those kinds of tasks. San and Naan have one of the most complicated arcs in the entire series. As someone who's now watched Zombiver 4 times, yes, 4, here's what I've come to conclude. It's going to be a long and thread, so buckle up. 1. San and Ning's relationship, built on guilt, not love. San and Ning were actually dating before the lab incident, the one where Ning's mom saw San and Joe and later ended up in a coma. In episode 1, when Ning's mom heard that San had given Ning a new phone, she was clearly unhappy. That reaction makes sense, she had already seen San with Joe during the murder. That tells me San probably dated Ning because he genuinely liked her at first. But after the lab incident, when her mom went into a coma, San's feelings started to blur. His affection turned into guilt, he stayed close not out of love, but because he felt responsible. It was also his way to keep an eye on her mom's condition. Ning, on the other hand, seemed to date San partly for financial convenience. San paid for Naan's tuition and helped with other expenses. That's likely why she tolerated his often cold and distant behavior. She's an intelligent researcher who will do whatever it takes to protect her family. I don't believe for a second that she was completely unaware of the professor's secret project. Maybe she didn't know everything, but she definitely wasn't clueless either. Ning uses people and situations as leverage and honestly, and I like that about her. She's realistic, flawed, and human. Not your typical, pure-hearted female lead, but someone grounded in survival. And the way Zee and Janice portrayed this dynamic. So good. There was never that sense of, deeply in love, between them, and that's exactly what made their relationship feel so layered and real. 2. San, the survivor of his own trauma. San witnessed something truly horrifying, Joe K-word someone right in front of him. Anyone would break after that, and San did. Coming from a wealthy, influential family, he was forced to stick with Joe's group since childhood. But if you pay attention, San isn't the one in charge, he's a follower. Joe holds the reins, while San is trapped under the weight of power and family expectations. He tried to stop the incident, but failed. After that, he was blackmailed, silenced, and buried under guilt. He couldn't talk to anyone. How could he? He couldn't just say, hey, I saw someone get K-word and I couldn't stop it. So he bottled it all up until it shattered him from the inside. The trauma turned into severe PTSD, and he eventually had to rely on medication, something he kept secret from everyone. But Nan saw it. Nan was the first person to see San's fragile, human side, and instead of judging him, he quietly accepted it. That's where things between them began to shift, becoming more intimate, more complicated, and far beyond the labels of friendship. 3. Nan, the hidden heart of the story. Nan is the series' quiet tragedy. He's the victim of his own family's manipulation. His mother and sister made him believe they were protecting him, but in reality, they made him feel weak, dependent, and insignificant. You can see that resentment peek through when he drunkenly says, "Mom's favorite child," to Ning. That line cuts deep. It tells us everything about his lifelong inferiority complex. Still, Nan loves his family deeply. Like Ning, he'd do anything to protect them, and in the end, he truly does. That's why when he discovers San's pain, he shields him, because for the first time he is the one giving and protecting someone that makes him feel seen and significant. He also never hesitates to step up and shield other by standing in front line. And let's talk about NuNew's performance. My god. Every time he looks at San, there's that unspoken longing, something he's not supposed to feel because San is his sister's boyfriend. But it's there. San and Naan, a bond born from pain and unspoken understanding. What makes San and Naan's dynamic so powerful is that it isn't written like a typical friendship or even a romantic trope. It's something in between, something more real and unspoken. It's a connection formed through shared pain, guilt, and survival. 1. The birth of a silent understanding. When everyone else saw San as the arrogant rich guy with attitude, Naan saw something entirely different, a broken man trying to hold himself together. Naan was the first person who didn't demand explanations from San. He didn't ask why San acted that way, he simply stayed. And for someone like San, who's been living with guilt and silence for so long, that kind of quiet acceptance was life-changing. As he says, Naan smelled something rotten in me, but he didn't turn away from me. Also, that whole cheating scenario, from my opinion at least, does not exist. To me it feels like Proud just lied to Ning to manipulate her and Mook. Because if she really wanted to use it, she had enough opportunities to do so. What however she did know was about San's PTSD and medication and the something going on between San and Naan. It's also surprising to me that most of them looked like they knew both of them, although not fully. San didn't cheat on Ning because even as he is, he did not come across that kind of person to me. He even defended Naan till the end against his own sister. He tried out of his way for Naan's sake. He wouldn't hesitate to send T to danger, but whenever Naan was in question he'd too desperate to shield him. Their relationship is really great to me. It's subtle, but look at how their scenes are framed. San's eyes soften whenever Naan is near, and Naan instinctively reaches out to him even when he doesn't fully understand what's wrong. How it's only Naan who can control San's emotions. It's as if both their hearts recognized each other before their minds could catch up. 2. San's dependence and Naan's compassion. San starts to rely on Naan emotionally, not in a loud, dramatic way, but through small gestures. The way he listens when Naan speaks. The way he positions himself between Naan and danger every single time. It's protective, almost instinctive. And Naan, he becomes San's calm within chaos. Even though he doesn't know the full story behind San's trauma, his compassion is unwavering. He doesn't flinch when San breaks down, he doesn't walk away when San's panic attacks hit. That's what makes their bond so intimate. It's not about romance or friendship labels. It's about connection. Naan becomes the one person San can breathe around. San only yields to Naan, and no one else, not even his own GF. 3. Trauma bond or genuine love. Now, this is where it gets complicated. Some might say their closeness is a trauma bond, two damaged people clinging to each other for comfort in a collapsing world. But I don't think it's only that. San's relationship goes beyond shared pain. There's a genuine tenderness that can't be faked. The way San's voice changes when he talks to Naan, the way Naan looks at him even when he's angry, there's care, concern, love, even if they themselves don't have the courage to name it. It's that line between, "I need you," and, "I love you," that the series handles so beautifully. 4. The forbidden connection. Let's not forget the emotional weight. San is Ning's boyfriend. Naan shouldn't be feeling the things he feels. And yet, he does. That's what makes his gaze so painful. You can see it every time Naan looks at San. He knows he shouldn't get attached, but San is also the first person who ever saw him. The first to treat him as more than just Ning's little brother. Both of them are trapped by circumstances they didn't choose. San, by his guilt and silence. Naan, by his family and misplaced loyalty. And somehow, they find each other in that suffocating space. 5. The collapse and what it means. As the chaos of Zombievore unfolds, San and Naan's relationship mirrors the collapse around them. The closer they get, the more the truth threatens to tear everything apart. Their connection becomes both their strength and their downfall. For San, Naan is the only light that keeps him sane. For Naan, San is the only person who ever made him feel seen, and that's exactly why losing him hurts more than anything. When San breaks down, it's always Naan who reaches out. When Naan's life is in danger, San becomes unrecognizably desperate. They orbit each other like gravity, inevitable, inescapable. 6. Final thoughts. The beauty in the broken. If you strip away the zombies, the horror, the chaos, Zombievore is at its core about human nature. And San and Naan represent two sides of survival. 1. One survives by enduring guilt, San. 2. The other survives by forgiving and protecting others, Naan. Their bond isn't perfect. It's messy, confusing, and at times painfully self-destructive. But it's real, it's raw, and that's why it resonates so deeply with viewers who look beyond the surface. Because at the end of the day, sometimes love doesn't look like flowers and confessions. Sometimes, it looks like two broken souls quietly choosing to stay beside each other when the whole world falls apart. The final blow was Naan choosing San and others' safety over himself. He did what he thought was best for his loved ones. Imagine San's condition: someone who witnessed MRDR, got trauma, and finally found someone who looked beyond his facade, just slipping in front of his eyes. How will he live with this? Till the end, he only ever choose Naan above himself and everyone else. I'll never forget the scene when he saw Naan getting injected by the blood and collapsing. He left the door without a second thought, and that heart-wrenching yell, "Naan!" Zee Pruk really exceeded all expectations with San. The way he portrayed him so perfectly is beyond any praise to me. And it's not just me as his fan, but the Naan fans too are praising Zee Pruk and NuNew for their brilliant acting. Zombievore was truly worth the wait. All the characters did their part really well. As last note, I'd like to say Nings couldn't at last save the very person for whom she created this mess, although mostly unknowingly. That's why I like her character. It's flawed and selfish, but at the same time kind and justified. Just how most of us are in real life. Overall, Zombievore is a must-watch which has exceeded my expectations. The direction, the acting, the cutting, the BGM, the representation of zombies, the scientific connection, some light comedy, raw human emotion, and something unpleasant sides of the society and government. If you ask me, it's a complete package. I really hope they make the season 2 for this amazing work. And my San and Naan can have their proper closure.